In this video, we'll be finishing up the transactions that we need to record so that the financial statements will be correct. So let's see, we've already recorded all the activity in the checking account, so we balance down to the ending cash. But there's some things in addition to cash transactions that are needed to get the financial statements correct. So for instance, the inventory, we have these 4 purchases, but all this inventory is not still on hand because we've sold some of it. And so we need to remove the items that were sold. So let's go back here, and we will make a little schedule here so that we can point at it in our work and not have hard coding. Dates. There we go. So we have basic and alert. And we can just put the data in there, and then we'll be able to point to them. So on January 1st, we have 20 basic and 10 alerts. And on the 9th, we have 15 and 8. On the 17th, we have 10 and 5. And then the last one, we just have 3 of the basic and no alerts. Since this is historical data, it probably won't change, but it may be that you want to do some what-if analysis, and you may want to wonder what would have happened if things had been different. And so this way, you can go back and change this activity if you want to, in order to do some investigation. So we won't hard code those. We'll refer back to these cells in our analysis. Okay, so let's label this here. Transactions, and then we'll create a new one, and we'll call this inventory, and let's set it up. So I typed these in so you wouldn't have to just sit there and watch me type. Getting this set up so that we can be ready to create a schedule where we can figure out what inventory, the cost of the inventory that was sold. So there were 4 purchases, so I'm going to point to those on the checkbook tab, which is operating as my input tab. And then I can just copy that down, and that'll capture my 4 dates. Okay, and then I can point to the units for basic, and point to the units for alert, and then I can copy those down. Alright, and then the cost per unit, I can also get that for basic and for alert. I guess I could have done that before I copied down. Okay, why did that happen? Because I didn't lock in the relative reference. So I'm going to click in the address and put in that, and then now when I copy it down, it's going to stay locked on D29 and not move down one cell. See, it was moving down one cell every time it went down. So good reminder there. Alright, so lock that. Now I can copy it down. Okay, and now I can compute the total cost of the inventory that I bought, and this, of course, we already had in the checkbook, and we can verify that it matches the checkbook. Let's do the first one just for fun. So these two added together is 5,400. We can go to the checkbook. It matches the 5,400, so things look good there. Alright, so the total goods available and the units available are now computed. And so the question is how many units were sold, and then of course the difference would be the ending. So how many units of basic and how many units of alert were sold. So let's go back to our sales tab. And so the basic and the alerts are kind of commingled, so I'm going to insert a column, and I'm going to sort this data so that I've grouped all my basics together and all my alerts together. So I've highlighted all the data. I don't need the column headings. And I'm going to go up here to data, and then I'm going to go to sort, and I'm going to sort by product ID. And that'll put all the basic and all the alerts together. And then I'm just going to count. So I'm going to put a 1 and a 2. I can use the count function as well. If you wanted to do that, that works too. So I've got 17 alerts. Let's see how many basics I sold. Just drag it on down because Excel figures out the pattern. 38. Okay, very good. So let's go back over here to our inventory. So I sold plus and point to the 38 basics, and then how many of the alerts did I sell? 17. And so the cost was there for us. So the difference is how many I have on hand. So that'll go in my ending balance sheet when I get ready to do that. Okay. Steal the formula from up above. So now, since I need both, the cost of my goods sold for both is the $97.20, and then on the ending balance sheet, my ending inventory for both products will be that $29.70. So now I can do the journal entry for the cost of goods sold. I can remove the $97.20 from the inventory account and record it as being sold, and then the ending balance, hopefully, in my transaction grid here, will be that $29.70. So minus and point over here to this work that we've done here. And then my ending balance is the $29.70. So that's great. Okay, and then the other side over here is cost of goods sold. So now let's take care of the infomercial. So we have airtime, which has to be recorded. Now we haven't paid for that yet, so we'll have to put that in accounts payable. So let's point back at that. 800 and expense it. And then we need to amortize the production cost for the 2,400. All right, so my formatting is off here. Let me fix that in just a second. So 2,400 divided by the 12, that would be 1 month's amortization. And that is going to reduce the infomercial. Well, we haven't put the infomercial on here. So let's record that we owe Cliff for that. So the production costs were, and we owe Cliff for that. So these hash marks means that the column is not quite big enough for its contents. So I can just double click there on the edge and fix that. Alright, let's get the formatting here the way we like it. There we go. Record that some of this postage that we have here has been used up. So let's do that. How much of the postage got used up? We've got that over here at the bottom. Let's call that shipping expense. And we still have to record the interest that we owe Cliff. We haven't paid him yet, so let's insert a line. On the 9,000, and the interest rate was over here, and 1 month's worth, so divide by 12. I just realized I have an interest payable account. I think I'll put it over there. So when I added this additional row, my formula doesn't pick it up now. And I'm going to fix that on the next video. So in the next video, I'm going to use the numbers on the sheet to create the financial statements with you. And then we'll start digesting and giving business advice.